Hey everybody, it's Card Fighter Hunter here. Today I have another deck for sale video. This one's actually an update of a previous deck for sale video that I did not too long ago, maybe a couple of months. Anyway, the deck is Amon Reverse. I did update it so it's more complete and ideal of what I wanted it to be before I decided I wanted to sell it. So anyway, let's get on with the deck profile. For Amon Reverse, the previous version ran 3. But I've done some play testing with the deck, and I definitely like 4 Amon Reverse better because it's actually really easy to soul charge the original Amon, and you know that crit is very good. And then 3 regular Amon, the original Amon. Counterblast 1, choose the Dark Irregulars and put it into your soul, and then it gets 1,000 power for each Dark Irregulars in your soul. So it's a cross ride obviously for Amon. Pretty good, pretty good. The cross ride is really underrated, I think. A lot of people prefer like Dentarian Amon Reverse, but I'm like, I don't know why you would want to do that. Cross riding is really easy with Dark Regulars because it's so soul focused. So yeah, initially I ran only 3 Amon Reverse and then 4 original Amon because I preferred writing this if I had to get stuck on one of them. But I mean that's kind of changed because like I said, I've been doing some play testing, and this is in my opinion better to ride than the original Amon because it can provide a lot of pressure and critage, which is always good. And that 11k base does actually help every once in a while, so that's cool too. Grade 2s, I'm running 3 Gwyn the Ripper. The previous version had 2, but now I'm running 3. It's a very good card because this deck doesn't really use Counterblast except for this and the original Amon. So it's Counterblast 2 when it comes out, retire grade 2 or lower. So that's most things, like everything except a grade 3, or in Kagerou's case, grade 4. So yeah, this is a very good card in this deck. It really helps with the control factor of this, because you can like go, okay, is there something I definitely want dead? I'll Counterblast 2 with this, and then I will Counterblast 1, put it in Soul because it's a 9k by itself, and then, you know, have kill something else with Amon. So it's a really good card in this deck. I mean, in other decks that are more Counterblast heavy, it's not so good because, you know, Counterblasts are tight in most decks. For Amon 12k attacker, pretty self-explanatory. Crossrides are a thing. Just hit crossrides, and you can hit everything else in the game except Aggravane by itself with this, except for Crossride and Aggravane. Crossrides and Aggravane are the only things that this cannot hit unboosted. Without triggers, of course. And then lastly, we have 4 Amon's Follower, Hell's Draw. Soul Charge 2 when she comes out if you have an Amon Vanguard. Has to be on rearguard though, you can't write it. Has to be on rearguard, you can't write it as Vanguard. Which is kind of it would have been much better if it was on ride 2, but that would be pretty silly because it's like on ride Soul Charge 2. But at the same time, I feel like the deck really should have had it if it wanted to be competitive, and that is just one of the many reasons why this deck is not too competitive. I mean, in the right hands, any deck can be good, and I mean, that might sound like bullcrap, but to be honest, with just the right amount of luck and the good skills to pilot any deck properly, you know, this can be a very, very, very good deck. And it's been a good deck for me. I mean, there have been plenty of times where this deck has just been really, really stupidly good. It's kind of anti-meta too, because it gets a crit, so if you keep them at 3 damage, they will never limit break. And then you can just like push for game because they can't get any advantage. 4 Perfect Guards, I'm running 3 Vlad Specula, 1 March Rabbit. Sorry about that. If you're really that bothered by it, like if you have OCD or something, that's fine. Let me know and I can switch this out for another Vlad, but that would mean that you would, you know, have to pay extra for the Vlad. But yeah, 4 Perfect Guards are 4 Perfect Guards because break rides, and within the end of the year, Legions will be a thing. 3 Dorian the Thruster. I wanted to run 4, but I don't feel like it's that necessary in the deck. I mean, it is really, really broken, but at the same time, the soul charges are going to be sort of few and far between with this deck. I mean, sort of inconsistent, but not too like sparse or anything. It's just inconsistent. So it's like Soul Charge 2, Soul Charge 2, Soul Charge 1, Soul Charge 2. It'll be like really random the way you Soul Charge. Then I'm running 4 Hell's Deal, same thing as Hell's Draw, Soul Charge 2 once she is placed on Rearguard Circle, because you need to get that 6 soul. That is pretty much required for this deck. 2 Poet of Darkness Amon. This is a pretty good card. During your turn, if the number of Dark Regulars in your soul is 6 or more, plus 3k. So it doesn't matter if it's in Rearguard, or if it's in front row, Rearguard, or back row, it'll be 9k. So you can go 18 with a bunch of grade 1s, which is really good. And then 2-Dimension Creeper, Soul Blast this, and Soul Charge 2. So it's pretty good. A nice, little combo with this is you have original Amon, and then you have Dimension Creeper, Counterblast 1, put this into Soul, your opponent retires something, Soul Blast this, Soul Charge 2, and if you have a Doreen, she gains 9k, which is really, really good. So, yep, that's it for grade 1s, and then the trigger lineup is pretty self-explanatory. I'm running 3 Dark Knight, 4 of the Cruel Hand, a playset of Shirley, of course, because Shirley is like a 4 of in every Dark Irregulars deck. Psychic Waitress, and then 4 Hell's Trick, and then the starting Vanguard is Fate Collector. So the grade 0s are pretty straightforward. Some people like to run Greedy Hand instead of Fate Collector, but I personally like Fate Collector because it gives you hand advantage and all that stuff, and Dark Irregulars are really bad on hand advantage. So that's why I'm running Fate Collector. It's pretty good. Getting the 6 soul is easy, so it's not too much of a problem. And you can do it pre-limit break in case that's an issue, so that's pretty good too. So anyway, that is the deck. You can see all the details about this deck down below in the description, but I'll just say it right now. I'm accepting PayPal only, because concealed cash is too difficult to deal with, especially if you're in another country. Right now I'm looking to sell this for 125 shipped. Oh wait, no, 135, my apologies. 135 shipped. That's the entire deck, the sleeves, the oversleeves, and shipping, which itself is like $6 minimum. With the weight of this deck, which is probably close to a pound, it might be a bit more, but I'm not entirely sure about that. But right now, shipping for domestic is $6 for the deck, so that'll be 135 total shipped for anywhere in the U.S. If you contact me about it if you are interested and you're not in America, it'll be a bit more. It'll probably be like $10 for shipping. Not entirely sure, but something like that. Anyway, that's the deck. So thanks for watching, and I hope you will consider picking up the deck, because it's actually a really fun deck. It's one of the funnest decks I've ever played. It's just, I don't know, I'm getting rid of a lot of Vanguard Vanguard stuff right now, because I'm sort of seriously in debt, because I've been buying like set 16 boxes and Buddy Fight boxes all over the place. So anyway, that is it for now. So thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.